if someone is just starting out and they want to make $1 million in real estate, and that's their goal, liquid, and they don't have much money, like what would be the steps they'd follow? So you're saying residential, like how would you think about that?
Yeah, residential. Well, nowadays with technology, back when I started 30 years ago, there was no internet. So I had to actually fly out to Houston, meet with the listing broker, walk the properties, and then I would pick which one I want to buy. Now, you get on CoStar, LoopNet, there's so many multiple listing services, you can kind of do your research online. And to that point, you can also network with other people that have money. And if you do your research and you find a nice value add real estate that's distressed, and you do your research, say, hey, okay, this is mismanaged. If we do this to this out parcel, this tenant, sell it separately, or lease this subdivided, lease it to multiple smaller tenants that pay higher rent per foot. The comps are there to support double the price. And you go to an investor, network with other investors that have equity, bring them as an equity partner and make $1 million. You can do a split. There's so many ways, so many options you have now that you didn't have 30 years ago. So whoever says they can't make $1 million, that's just an excuse. They haven't tried hard enough. So doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. It may take them 1 year to 2 years to absorb and study that market to be able to sell that to an equity investor. This is a business that takes time to get educated and power up. So
the thing I've always kind of avoided about real estate is anyone can do it. Like I do tech because that's much harder, or making videos like this. It's like not everyone can go and do these things, but I'm missing, like everyone's doing real estate. How are you able to be in the sounds like the top echelon performance? Like what were you doing different?
I would say my timing I was very lucky because that, 5-6 year of run we had in real estate, it was unprecedented, similar to what happened, in the past 5 years, right? But I use the same concept of, just flipping out of each value add into the bigger deal. So basically I scaled my portfolio. Okay? And at some point I had over 2 million square feet in real estate, mostly in Houston. And then in 2007, I realized, just like 1999, when I sold my stocks, I realized, okay, this is a little too good to be true. People were bidding on my high-rise buildings from Florida, New York, without seeing it, on a $18 million high-rise. I had multiple offers. I'm like, this is not normal. It's just too good to be true. So I sold my portfolio in 2007, made a lot of money. I had 1031 exchange and bought a bunch of shopping centers that are anchored by grocery stores and a bunch of about 1 million square feet of industrial, Halliburton, FedEx, Continental Airlines. These were all of them in Houston, because I knew those tenants have a strong balance sheet and they can weather the storm. If we have a recession, surely what happened? We had a recession. Most of my high rises went back to the bank. I ended up buying 5 of them from the banking 3 years later and sold them again. That's another story. But so what I'm saying is, if you take calculated risk and you know how to underwrite a property, and you're on the right cycle, your timing's right, real estate is pretty predictable.
How many places have you bought? And I think and how much have you spent in real estate over the years?
Oh, over $1 billion.